Okay, we are starting the program now. On behalf of Aajja, I welcome all of you to be part of this session. We have these seminars every month, except May and June, and we hope to have this continue for the entire year. This program is, we have invited Shilpa Gore-Shah and Pinkish Shah. Both are founding members and principal partners of S+Ps Architects, and they founded this practice in 1997. They are engaged in study, reflection, and practice of design, architecture, or urbanity. Their design approach is that every project is unique, and that design should evolve through the particular characteristics of each project. Their work is influenced by their interest in history, pedagogy, travel, and interestingly also common sense, which is interesting to say. It's very good. The various national and international awards and publications and the exhibitions that they have reflect their design approach, and it's continuously evolving, so they keep evolving their approach as they go along. Their recent project, DIY Housing, was awarded Crossroads Project of the Year 1916 award by Indian Institute of Architects. This was in the category housing, and there also another project, Collage House, was shortlisted by thinkmatters.com as recognized as a project of critical relevance in terms of design and thought in the context of contemporary Indian architecture. They are also one of the 14 select architects shortlisted for practice of consequence in India 2013. We are proud to say that they are alumnus of this college, and we are very happy that we have our alumnus coming and talking to us. They did their masters, after JJ they did a masters in New Mexico, USA, and Pinkish was a gold medalist of final year. He's also, he did a post-professional program and travel fellowship chaired by Dr. Charles Moore. Charles Moore comes from the University of Boston. So on behalf of everybody, I welcome you. Can I suggest all the students to come a little forward so that he can have an eye contact with everybody? Yeah, please come forward. Students mainly, that's the reason why we went all the way to call you over. So I hand over the mic to Shilpa and Pinkish. Please come over. Please.
Hi everyone. Is it on? Hello? Hello? Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having us over, and thank you Professor Aajja for introducing us. It's always great to be back in JJ. Our favorite years have been spent in here, and both of us were in the same batch. We've had some great time in the school. See a lot of familiar faces, so welcome over here. And thank you Aajja, and thank you JJ once again for having us come here to give a talk. I was hoping for more students actually, but we'll make do with whatever. Then you all can go tell the others that I missed something, okay? Yeah. Still louder? Okay. Okay, is that better? We would, okay, we've titled our talk actually concepts, questions, concepts, and reality. And we thought we could connect better with the students because we really work like this. And to give you all the confidence that things like this do work. That you, once the brief is given to you by a client, you actually question the brief, don't take things for granted. then you understand and get your concepts about what could happen to this project in various ways through various modes of facilities of drawing, modeling and everything, and then combine it with the reality of actually making the project. And the biggest question or the toughest part of the project is how you can retain your concept throughout the building of the project. That's when things start petering down sometimes. And you will see that we try very hard to see to it that the concepts and reality are all combined hand to hand, and hence help answer a few of the questions that were raised at the beginning. Pinkish and I have had a long journey in architecture, beginning of course in JJ here for the first 5 years, with a wonderful set of teachers who have broadly kind of molded the way we think in modernist ways sometimes, and followed up by working separately in India. Pinkish worked with Sumit Ghosh and I was with Anand Raje for a while, and thereon we've travelled to do our masters abroad, and had again a wonderful set of teachers who have really opened us to different ways of thinking in this field. Followed by a lot of travel, and travel is a great tool of learning for us architects. It's always been there, as long as you know how to travel and know how to see things. So I would suggest please travel every opportunity you'll get. Do travel and see more and more stuff around you. These slides are of our office. Give 1 second, do you want to just switch off the lights? You think so? Hello? Yeah, much better. Okay. They're off. These slides are of our office. We work as a singular. We work as a singular space. And as a studio of typically 6 to 8 people, no boundaries, where thoughts hopefully transfer easily between us and our staff. Next. This shows that the slide on the right tells you that it's been one of the telling things of our work and our what we pursue in our work is always been about details in a big way, materiality. And in the slides that follow, eventually you will notice things about flexibility, movement, and layering. These will keep coming again and again, and also kind of always a sense of free air space that happens in the projects. Next. The slide on the left shows the main studio, and on the right is the conference room. Next. We will be showing you about 6 projects, and we hope to have chosen different variety, so as to give you all a little feel of what we are up to. This is a project of a school in Airoli, and as you can see on the left, it's a very, very gritty neighborhood, very grey neighborhood, extremely dense fabric, and then this one open nodal space right in the middle, which was occupied by a school. And the school, it had dilapidated actually, and hence the principal had come to us saying that we want to build a new school. And one of his first things was, "Meko naya school mall jaise bana ke dena." And that's where it all began, this whole sense of questioning and what he really meant by that. And we took his concerns forward. The school was also supported by a playground right in front, which was bounded by a stage, a temple, and a community space. Next. The program offered to us in the school was really, really complex. It had everything from a Marathi medium school, English medium school, a college, a junior college for arts, science and commerce streams, a law college, and then B.Ed and D.Ed programs, which means we were dealing with an age group of all the way from 3 to 35-year-olds, and which meant that we have to understand how these different age groups interact with each other and what happens therein. The first things that came to mind was, of course, maybe within the urban context, whether we build up these different individual different streams as separate buildings and make it look like a group. But with more and more conversations that happened with the panel and with the management, we realized that they are really not too sure about their program. They're not sure which streams may continue, which may stop, what will take over, and which then made us give up this idea. And we thought of another way in which to bring the school together, which would definitely be a vertical education system. Next. So what we thought was that what they need definitely is something that's highly flexible in nature. The surface would be created in such a way that it would not show defined spaces of what would be inside. There would be movable panels inside the rooms also, which would help create spaces of different sizes as per requirement. And then these would be stacked like almost similar to a bookcase. They would be just stacked up so that there is no rigidity in terms of what you're trying to, what holds behind those elevational statements. Next. The other thing that we did was to help create foyers which then coordinated this whole movement. That means because there were so many different players in the group, we thought each should get some kind of open space, which means basically a ground at upper level. And this would be individual to each different stream. And then these grounds in turn would get connected via a whole system of staircases, which would be extra besides the fire escapes, 3 fire escape staircases. But that would kind of just animate the whole space within and make the school feel that it's interconnected, though it would have its own separate pockets of the different streams. So on the left you can see that's the block kind of which emerged after leaving your setbacks and everything. And then we carved out a hole in the middle to create just enough width for a good ventilating system. The third one shows how the different entrances were conceived so that there would not be chaos between the different streams and how they're entering the school. The next one after that shows how all these voids were carved out at different levels so as to facilitate the outdoor spaces for each stream. The slide in the middle on the right, the diagram in the middle in the right, shows the insertion of a library, which we think was the most important part of the school, and then would be the one common facility that was shared by everybody. It was inserted right in the middle, would be made of glass, and it would have something like a continuous tier system so that all would be able to go for, it's like almost like a stepped ghat, which would then include books all along the 2 walls, and anybody from any field could use the library. The last slide shows the insertion of a new object within the open ground, which would facilitate their sports needs and would also bind up with the temple and the community hall to kind of make it a space over there by itself, which could also then be rented out for other activities. As you can see, this is a view taken from the ground, and it shows the porosity that then the school would achieve and the sense of both freedom and a playfulness, though everything would have its own space, but it would never look like 5 streams which are separate. One wouldn't know when one ends and the other one begins. The section on the right shows how if you imagine somebody starting to climb up from the ground, then you would come onto the podium, then climb to that first void. From the first void it would take you to something else, and that kind of internal animated staircase would really help the courtyards inside. This was also imagined that in such a kind of a grey neighborhood, when you're talking of such life within this building with children and youngsters and energy, we thought of giving this kind of a color graphic to the whole building on the thickness of the walls, and which was mainly like cooler on the north, and then it could become yellower towards the south. The sports program was held within this rectangular cuboid in the play area, and the stage, the kind of panels would open up to either show that it could be used as a stage, or the volume inside could be used as a badminton court.